I was sitting here thinking, we heard it said, I don't know who said it, but I know it's before our time, because I heard it since I've been here. But we heard the saying, the revolution will not be televised. And at the time that they said that, whoever said it, I know that by me being here now, I know that they had no idea of what technology was going to do, because the revolution is being televised. Now, what your revolution may be is totally up to you. You hear me? Because everybody, revolution gonna mean something different to them, according to who you are, what you stand for, and what's your purpose of being here consists of doing. You hear me? But we experiencing and we witnessing timelessness all at the same time. And that's why life gave us this opportunity. Life allowed us this opportunity, this moment. If you here, life allows you this opportunity. You hear me? Life allows you this moment. Because we don't get no moments back. Give a minute to let that ripple. We don't get no moments back, man. I hope we're doing everything possible to make it count. We don't get no moments back. That ain't gonna mean the same thing to everybody. It ain't supposed to. It's gonna hit you right where you at. You hear me? We don't get no moments back. I say that because in our life, we may find ourselves experiencing, and all life can throw at us. And all that we throw at ourselves through how we vibrate and how we move. You know, it takes a lot to keep our energy pure and to keep our heart pure. It takes a lot to keep our heart pure. And it takes even more to keep our energy cleansed. And it takes starting. It takes starting. It takes willingness to start, to even become aware, to even start gathering the knowledge, to be able to do that. I say that because awakening and spiritual warfare come hand in hand. A lot of people finding that out. You hear me? You know, you don't just get woke and everything all right. And a lot of people who got woke really want to go back to sleep, because being woke take work. Because once you woke, you're responsible. You're responsible for all the things that you was blinded to. Once you woke, you're accountable. You're accountable for all the things that you was blinded to. You see, woke people don't get no passes. Woke people don't get no passes. You know? I remember running into one of the elders, you know, and before I could even get out my car and in her yard good, you know, she hollered out, you know, what you doing here? I ain't ready to wake back up. She already know what her assignment was. She had been here on the planet doing work, assisting others in the journey of their soul to get spiritually activated, you know. And she had them got in a place after doing it so long that she was tired. And when she said that, I heard what she was saying, but I ain't know what it was gonna show me until later on, to be able to point out that I recognized that she was tired. Her soul was tired, you know. Her soul was tired. And she passed the torch to me in a lot of ways, you know. And I'm thankful, you know. I'm gonna say it again. Awakening and spiritual warfare come in a package, family. You know, it come in a package. You can't get it separately, and you won't get it separately. You hear me? And no matter what we buy to help us, no matter what we buy to help us on our spiritual journey, it can't be bought. You know, it can't be bought. We're gonna have to put some work in. We're gonna have to apply, you know, what we read. We're gonna have to apply what we invest ourselves into. We're gonna have to apply what we invest our resources into to invest in ourselves. I'll say it like that. You know, we're gonna have to apply what we invest our resources in to invest in ourselves. Cause otherwise you're doing this work for. First of all, if you're doing the work, you don't want to be doing it for nothing. But if you're not applying the experiences, if you're not applying knowledge, if you're not applying information as it flow in and out our lives, then it's almost like we're doing it for nothing, you know? And we ain't doing it for nothing. I'm not doing it for nothing. I know some of those who show up consistently, as long as I post a video, ain't doing it for nothing. And that's why I'd rather be 2 of y'all or 20 of y'all, 20 of y'all or 200 of y'all. I keep doing it because I know it's helping somebody somewhere. You hear me? We ain't doing all this for nothing. Especially the ones who doing it for themselves. See, a lot of people get on the spiritual journey looking for everything and anything outside themselves. You see, and those are the ones who get everything that come with that. Let me keep it light. But for those who got on this journey to experience what it would really be like to experience oneself, yourself, you ain't doing it for nothing. And your reward gonna come through your process. And a lot of times we already be being rewarded before we start seeing rewards, you know. Matter of fact, we passing out reality checks right now. You hear me? Because everybody who get to observe us, as we doing our own observations, they don't see the same person they used to see. To many people, you know, they don't even know the same person they used to know, because you're not that same person, because I'm not that same person. We got better. Some get worse, but we got better. I'm speaking for those who got better. That's why we not that same person, because we got better. You hear me? So we passing out reality checks, you know, through correcting ourselves. And I say that because we wasn't expected to do it. Let's be, you know, I know when it comes to me and all I had to survive through, all I had to strive through, and all I had to thrive through, I wasn't expected to do it. And I know if I wasn't expected to do it, it's a million me's reflecting on the other side of this video. You hear me? You know, we wasn't expected to do it. You know, we wasn't expected to stop negative cycles. We wasn't expected to stop negative attitudes. We wasn't expected to stop negative behaviors. We wasn't expected to stop negative addictions. You hear me? We wasn't expected to stop the toxicity. we wasn't expected to outgrow our bullshit. And the reason why we wasn't expected to outgrow our bullshit is so those who we was in the bullshit with can stay in theirs. You hear me? But that wasn't the plan for us. You hear me? You know, we wasn't expected to recognize our bullshit, to recognize nobody else's. And if you recognize your own and you're brutally honest with what you show yourself, you know, the flawed and the flawless parts of yourself, then you see it clear. And, you know, you see the red flags before they appear. You see the red flags when they start trying to form, you know. Yeah. I say that because some people never change. Because it's easier to stay the same, you know. And when I look back on what that phrase says to me personally, it's scary, you know, because I've been on that fine line when the spirit of my soul was at war with which way I'm gonna go and what I'm gonna do, how to do it, you know, and where I need to go do it at. You hear me? Yeah. I know that. I know that tug of war. I know that tug of war, you know. Some people never change because it's easy to stay the same. I don't know who I'm talking to, but don't let that be you. You hear me? You know. Always strive to excel within. Always strive to excel within. Because if we can get the inside right, if we could do all the cleansing, the pruning, you know, the clipping, the cutting, so forth and so on, that we need to get that inner being right, that inner being lifted up, that inner being activated, that inner being raised up, you know, and spinning, spinning at the fastest rotation, you know, on the axis of oneself. Everything else gonna line up. Everything else gonna line up. You hear me? So don't worry about who don't understand. Just make sure you understand. You know, sometimes, if not most, people will never understand what you're going through until they're going through it too. You know, it don't matter what it is or how it appears. You know, some people just never understand what we're going through until they're going through it. And I don't know, I ain't going through nothing personally, but the energies, when I be weaving in and out, you know, the realms, you know, some areas, you know, if you ever flew on a flight, some areas, the flight be smooth. Then some areas you experience turbulence. So I was picking up on a little turbulence in the collective, so I just came to, you know, be a smoother air pocket to get through it, you know. Everybody ain't gonna understand the journey. You hear me? Not yours. And don't expect nobody to understand your journey. Ain't nobody got no business trying to understand nobody else's journey no way. That ain't the purpose. You hear me? We're here to understand our own journey. You hear me? And if we're able to do that, we'll understand the journey of those who we share this journey with. You know, for the most part. You know, it don't have to be that way, but that's how it is. You know, and I say that like that because, you know, the hard heads learn the hard way. You hear me? And it's something in us that have to have an experience. It's something in us that has to have the experience of an experience for it to mean something, whether good, bad, or indifferent. Why we made like that, I don't even know. You know, but most of us learning how to choose wisely because of that. You hear me? So with that, I'll say change your focus, change his thoughts, change his perceptions, change his feelings, that changes attitude, that changes actions. Now, rewind that if you really want to catch it, but it's a process. You hear me? It's a process in catching ourselves. So nurture you, have fun with you, enjoy you, be kind to you, sit still with you, listen to you, uplift you, be honest with you, and most of all, love you. You hear me? And I know you can do it, because I've done it. You hear me? And it take you to love you first. That's the groundwork. With that, let it ripple. You hear me? That concludes today's message. Feel good for no reason at all. If you have watched today's message, place the emoji in the comment section. The emoji will be what the emoji be for the day? What emoji be for the day? Put a heart in it. We're gonna put a heart in it. Emoji for the day, we're gonna put a heart in it. Because we don't get no moments back. You hear me? So we're gonna put our hearts in it. You hear me? That don't mean we neglect to use logic. Because we got to know when to be heart over head and head over heart. But we're going to put our heart in it, you hear me? And that's going to conclude today's message. Thanks for the likes, shares, comments, subscribe, new subscribers, regular comments, conscious family and soul tribe. I appreciate y'all all for everything, you hear me? It's been fun doing this until we do it again. Love.